On April 18th, 1938, a story was published that would revolutionize an entire industry. Who could have predicted that one story out of many in what was yet another anthology comic would create an immediate legacy that is still seen today? This is the story of two then unknown 24-year-old men and their comic that changed the world. Jerome Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster were both born in 1914. Shuster in Toronto, while Siegel was born in Cleveland, where the two would eventually meet at Glenville High School at the age of 16. Then, in 1933, they would go on to co-create the character of Superman. That is, the bald, telepathic villain Superman, as opposed to the blue spandex-wearing, red-cape superhero that would later be published within the pages of Action Comics. The Jerry Siegel penned short story, written under the pen name Herbert S. Fine, was printed in the third issue of Shuster's self-published fanzine, Science Fiction, The Advanced Guard of Future Civilization. It is estimated that only about 50 copies of the fanzine were ever published, and in 1934, Siegel would have a dream, inspiring him to revise the Superman character as a comic strip hero. He and Shuster would then co-create the first comic to feature the character of Superman for Consolidated Book Publishing in 1937. However, late into production on the book, Consolidated rejected the pitch. As a result, nearly all record of this early comic, aside from a cover, supposedly saved by Siegel, was burned by Shuster. This incarnation of the character was still a ways away from the iconic version now known the world over. In an interview years later, Joe Shuster would compare this version of Superman to Slam Bradley, a private eye character the duo co-created for Detective Comics #1, alongside National Allied founder Malcolm Wheeler Nicholson. The next development in the Superman creation saga came a year later when Detective Comics publisher Harry Donenfeld was in search of stories to fill out the debut issue of a new anthology series known as Action Comics. Siegel and Shuster sold their creation to Donenfeld for $130, the modern equivalent of roughly $2,215, and a contract with the company to continue to produce Superman stories. The Action Comics #1 Superman feature consisted of a proposed Superman newspaper strip rearranged to better fit the comic magazine format. The comic, which also featured the first appearance of the magician Giovanni Zatara, father of future Justice League member Zatanna, had an initial printing of around 200,000 copies, which sold out quickly soon after publication. After the printing, Donenfeld, ashamed of Superman's more fantastical elements, ordered that the character never headline the comic again. This decision did not last long, however, after it was discovered that the Superman feature had been the contributing factor for the outstanding sales of issue 1. As a result, by issue 7, Superman was named the title feature for the series. The Superman character became an instant icon. By 1941, Superman was represented in comic books, a weekly newspaper strip, a radio series, a series of animated shorts from Fleischer Studios, and was even featured in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in 1940. However, as time went on, the $130 deal between Detective Comics and Siegel and Shuster did not sit well with the creative duo, sparking decades worth of legal action over proper ownership of the Superman character. Although, that's an entirely another story in its own right.
Up in the sky, look! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Superman!
If you're hearing this, hey, thanks for watching. This video is just kind of like a proof of concept for future videos down the line. I do have some ideas for future videos, it's just when I get around to actually implementing those ideas, and then, yeah. So this is about it for right now. This title is not final at all. This will definitely change by the time that the next video goes up, whenever that'll be. I'm still thinking of ideas for official titles, so that is Birth of a Legend. the first episode of whatever this series is. So yeah, thank you for watching again, and I'll see you in the next